Hey, this is Brian with worshiptutorials.com. I have a tutorial today for the song Lord, I Need You. This was co-written by a bunch of guys, Matt Maher, I think some guys in Chris Tomlin's band. I'm not sure who else does it, but the two popular versions that are out there right now, the first one is Matt Maher's version from All the People Said Amen, his album, which is a great album from him, and it's on a Passion album, I believe, Here For You. And that one is Chris Tomlin performing it. So those two arrangements are slightly different, but for the most part, it's the same song, the same basic chord progressions and that kind of thing. I personally really like the Matt Maher version, so I'm going to teach you how to play that one. One thing about it, though, it is in the key of, he does it in the key of B flat, and Chris Tomlin does it in the key of B. I actually prefer to sing it in the key of B. So, but for today, let's just do B flat, the way Matt Maher does it. It doesn't really matter though, because I'm going to show you how to play it using key of G chords with your capo on whichever fret you choose. So to play with the Matt Maher record, you put your capo on the 3rd fret, that puts you in the key of B flat. To play with Chris Tomlin, put your capo on the 4th fret, and you're in the key of B. Find the key that fits your voice. Now this song does have quite a range to it because you start on a lower octave and then you end up jumping to a higher octave. That is difficult for many people, probably in your churches, but it's cool. If you can do it, go for it. It's a good effect, especially for energy. So this song is, it's not the easiest song in the world to play. There's a lot of chord variations in it and different things, and there's actually some timing things that are difficult. It changes time signatures in the bridge. We'll talk about that when we get there. But basically you're going to use G, C, E minor. You can play it this way or you can play it this way. I kind of prefer this one. There's a D. Now there's a lot of walk-ups and walk-downs in this song. So you're going to use a D over F sharp, which just means you're going to hook your thumb around and grab that F sharp in the bass. That's what those over chords mean. Whenever you see over something, whatever the last letter of the chord is in the root, the bass note. So that's D over F sharp. There's a G over B. There is a C over E, which you can just play a C and let the low E ring out. There's also a G over D, which for that one I just play a regular old G because your D rings open. What else is there? I think that's all the chords in the song. Yes, it's all the chords in the song. So, strumming pattern. We're gonna go like, Chris Tomlin does a lot of fingerstyle. So if you want to do that, you can do that kind of a thing. I will have some lessons coming up on how to do some finger picking stuff. But for the basic strumming pattern, I go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. I'll slow it down. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. A lot of these changes happen as half note changes or half measure changes, 2 beats, and then it changes a chord. So for those, I like to go down, 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 up, down, 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 up. That's kind of a default pattern I fall back into for half measure changes. Again, 1, 2, change, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's talk about the song. The intro for Matt Maher has a short intro. It's just G, C, G. Lord, I come. That's it. So it's G for 3 beats, C for 1 on the 4 of the first measure, and then back to G. So G, 2, 3, C, G. That'll get it. And then the verse goes G, C, G, D over F sharp, E minor, to G, C, G. A lot of these changes happen on the 4, the last beat, and they're just for one beat, and then it's kind of they use the change to kind of jump to the next chord. So G, C, G, D suspended to D, C. And all D suspended is you play your D, put your pinky down on the 3rd fret of the high E string. So, if you learn how to play guitar and you're a Tom Petty fan, you probably learned Free Fallin', and you probably did it like this. So that's all you're doing on the D suspended. Okay, let me go through that verse progression again. So it's G, C, G, D over F sharp, E minor, D, C, back to G, C, G, D suspended to D, to C. I'm gonna sing it and play it so you can see how it all fits together. Lord, I come, I confess, bowing here, I find my rest. Without you, I fall apart. You're the one that guides my heart. Lord, I need you. Now we're into the chorus. It's G, C, G, D over F sharp, E minor, C, G, D. Now here's an interesting section. I told you there's some walk-ups and walks-downs. My one defense, my righteousness. You notice that walks up. It steps up in tone. So it's my one, G over B, defense is C. My right, that's that G over D, and I just play a G. Righteousness, that's C over E. Just let that low E ring out on the C. Oh God, it's G to D, G. So I'm going to play the chorus for you. You see how it goes. Lord, I need you. Oh, I need you. Every hour I need you. My one defense, my righteousness. Oh God, how I need you. And after the chorus, he does a little turnaround section where how I need you, G to C, where sin runs deep, your grace is strong. So that's verse 2. Grace is found is where you are, and where you are, that's where he jumps the octave. Lord, I am free, and faithfulness is Christ in me. Now here's the one difference in verse 2 from verse 1. So in verse 1, where you would get to that chord, is Christ in me, you would go just to a C. In verse 2, he goes to a G. Is Christ in me? And then he moves to a C. And then back into the chorus. Lord, I need you. Oh, I need you. And notice we're up an octave from where we were earlier. So you play the chorus the same as you did earlier. You end on the G. Oh God, how I need you. And now we get to the bridge. Teach my soul to rise to you. And that is this is where the timing changes. So at the bridge, it goes a measure of 3/4 and a measure of 4/4. Then a measure of 3/4 then a measure of 4/4. It's easy to count it. It's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the measures of 3/4 have two different progressions that happen in them. So I'm just going to walk you through the bridge as it goes. So it's teach my soul to rise to you. It's C, G over B, D, E minor, 2, 3, 4. And here's your next measure of 3. E, 2, D, C, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going back to the C, G over B, D, E minor, 2, 3, 4, E minor, 2, D, G, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to count that out while I play it. I'm not going to tell you the chords that I'm changing to, but I'm going to count it because the timing is the most difficult part. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, not the easiest thing in the world to do time-wise because you are switching back between 3/4 and 4/4, but it gives it a cool feel. I'm going to sing it so you can see how it goes. So teach. Teach my soul to rise to you. When temptation comes my way, when I cannot stand, I'll fall on you. And Jesus, you're my hope and stay. Lord, I need you. That's where he goes back up. Okay, so you sing the chorus. Every hour I need you, my one defense, my righteousness. Oh God, how I need you. You're my one. So the tag goes back to my one defense, that line. My one defense, my righteousness. Oh God, how I need you. And then the tag outro is the same thing, but down an octave. My one defense, my righteousness. Oh God, how I need you. That is it. Lord, I need you. Kind of feels interesting in that bridge. Practice it a lot. If the timing is difficult for you, I would recommend playing along to the MP3, or if you have it on Spotify or something like that, iTunes. Matt Maher's version is a little simpler. I would recommend using his to practice along to, and just get that timing down. Count it out in your head. It's a good practice to go between 3/4, 4/4. It helps you with your timing and your counting, that kind of thing. If you want to practice along to it and use a metronome, I highly recommend it. Matt Maher's version is at 75 BPM on the dot. So practicing with metronome is always good. So if you have any questions, head over to Worship Tutorials. We got a bunch of resources for you there, some chord diagrams and things for this song to help you out. If you have any questions, like I said, leave a comment over at Worship Tutorials down below if you're here on YouTube. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye. Hey, this is Brian with worshiptutorials.com. The music that you hear in the background right now is called pads, and I believe pads can help completely transform your worship sets. They can help you create awesome environments. They can really help you with transitions and just help make everything smooth. So what pads are is a sound bed that helps create warmth and atmosphere. If you head over to worshiptutorials.com by clicking the link here in the video, you can sample the pads, you can listen to the actual sounds that you will get, you can play along to them to see how they might work in your workflow. What you get are 12 MP3 files. They're 20 minutes long each. There is one file for each of the 12 major keys. These pads are not progression specific, so that means you don't need a click track. For example, if you're playing a song in the key of G, you can just play the key of G pad underneath your song, and anything you play in that key will just fit right in. It'll be seamless, and they just sound great. So head over to Worship Tutorials, check them out. I hope that these are helpful for you. Thanks.